welcome to this week's OK at Work with myself, Sarah Sawyer, and my colleague, Russell Berger from the Offit Kurman Labor and Employment Group. And this week, we're talking about just general things that can muck up your business from a legal standpoint. So we've talked about this a little bit in the past as it relates to litigation, and litigation is kind of an intuitive one that if you're involved in litigation, that's going to be kind of a pain in the butt and a lot to deal with and costly and spending a lot of time talking to people like Russell and I. But there's also a lot of other things right from the start of people's business that can really trip you up long term and lead to be more of a headache than expected, more costly. I know I've seen it a lot on even just the business formation side of things, where people come to us, they've maybe pulled some forms offline, and especially if they're dealing with forming a business with a bunch of partners and things like that, and they come to us and they've kind of got a ball of stuff that we have to kind of pick apart and figure out, okay, well, is this meeting their needs? What are the tax consequences? Where are they headed? And it can often really be a painful process, whereas if they had kind of thought about these things from the beginning, it would have been easier. What are some of the things that you see in that realm, Russell?
Yeah, I mean, this is probably universally true, far broader than with, just limiting it to legal issues, but it is, almost always easier, less of a headache, more efficient, cheaper to just take the time to get it right up front than to try the DIY approach or try to mix and match and then inevitably have to try to clean it up and fix it later on. So, like you were saying, we see it with corporate entity formation. We also see it. We certainly see it with employment policies and practices, especially as a company grows. It's okay. I don't need that. I can just manage through the sheer force of my personality. And when you got 5 or 6 employees, maybe you can. But the bigger you get, the less likely you're able to do that. So kind of the ad hoc problem solving is less of an option as your business grows. And so while we certainly we see that up close in employment. We see that in other aspects of the business too. We see it in commercial relationships too, where it's a handshake deal, or we don't have to be formal about our terms. We all kind of know what's going on here until you don't, until there's a dispute, until there's a disagreement, and then you're disadvantaged because you don't have a clear written agreement or you don't have clear terms for how the resolution should proceed. So as a general public service announcement here, it's just like going to the doctor for your regular checkup. Even if the doctor doesn't find anything, it gives you a clean bill of health and make sure you're on the right track, make sure you're doing the right things, so that if and when there is a problem, you're already set up well.
Yeah, and definitely from a protection standpoint, it's huge to make sure you have everything set up. I've also seen it in in the actually helping benefit your business financially. I think a lot of times people think about lawyers as a cost and something that it's like going to the doctor, maybe something you don't always want to do. But there's also things that like IP attorneys, for example, can really help with, as far as actually things that could be a part of your business plan that could ultimately make you money, or help you with strategies, or especially if you're in a product business. Or we've got a lot of heavy IP, intellectual property business. There's actually things that people could tell you about. I mean, I'm not an IP lawyer, so I'm not going to get into the weeds there, but I know that there's things as far as monetizing your ideas and your intellectual property that could really actually play a positive role in your business plan and actually give you something to think about in the way that you're structuring things and making money. So it's not always a cost or in the cost column, or the I gotta go get my checkup, I can't believe I have to do this, it sucks kind of thing. There's positive things as well.
Well, and by the same token, you're growing your business, you have clients, and you need to hire a salesperson to help grow your business. But you're going to expose that salesperson to your existing clients. I mean, that's a risk, right? So you put a non-compete in place, you put non-solicits in place, you put confidentiality in place, you put, the IP protections you mentioned in place. I mean, those are all things that if you're using them strategically and you're being thoughtful about it, they will help drive the growth of your business or free you up to grow your business even more. So to your point, it's not just you know I got to call the lawyer. Got the meter's going to start running. What a pain. It's, how can I use the law to grow my business? What advantages can I gain by being strategic about how I roll these things out? Because those things are there, and being strategic in that way, I think is a real growth initiative.
Yeah, and I think just I can speak on both of our behalves, just having worked with you a lot, Russell, is that, while compliance is a big part of our job and litigation is a big part of our job, I know we both enjoy the growth aspect as well and kind of digging in there and figuring out those pieces. So, always excited when clients call proactively on those issues, and we can be involved in the growth process and get excited with them on some of these things.
Yeah, it's I want to build towards this. I want my company to be this big. I want to have this many locations. I want to prepare for a sale. I mean, those are all things that, we can be an asset in helping a client get to, as opposed to oh, I'm getting sued, I got to call my lawyer, which you still have to do, but it's not nearly as rewarding or fun as doing something that's growth oriented.
Yeah, we're here for both, but definitely enjoy the growth process. So, well, thanks, Russell, and talk to you next time.
Thanks, Sarah.